Hello everyone, it is June the 26th and this is show number 20. Much appreciation to Carla for sticking with me for 20 shows. It's been a lot of work, right? I mean, we've had fun doing it, but I think we kind of started it as something that we wanted to do because we never see tennis news and we get it anyway, and we kind of thought that maybe that there are others like us that never get tennis news and don't have the time to dig deep. Not that we have a lot of time with 5 children, but we have always for many years found time to at least get the scores, a little bit of the drama, and we have to dig so deep to get it. So show number 20, thank you very much for the help, and I think now we enjoy it, right?
Yeah, definitely do.
So we enjoy it. So thank you for watching. If it wasn't for you watching, we wouldn't be here. All right, so we're going to jump right in. Again, today is June the 26th. It's Tuesday, 5 days until Wimbledon. Carla brought up a good point earlier while we were writing out what we wanted to discuss, that Wimbledon qualifying is well underway.
Yes, which would make sense why some of the players didn't enter some of these tournaments. They had to qualify for Wimbledon.
Very good point. There is a wind, by the way, and I like to mention this, coming out of our south, blowing to the north. So if we're a little hard to hear at times, very sorry for that. We'll try to speak up, so don't kill us. We try to get better every show. So, all right, so we're going to run down some Wimbledon qualifying. We're going to run down some notable men's and women's wins and losses from Eastbourne, the tournament that's ongoing currently along with Wimbledon qualifying. Again, it's a tune-up match or a tune-up tournament, right?
Yes, it's the last tournament before Wimbledon.
Wimbledon. So it's not for me as someone that again is doing this show to build this hypothetical fantasy team. If I'm trying to build a fantasy team for Wimbledon that consists of 8 players, and I had a player that did well last week and may have bailed out early this week, I think there was a female player that might have happened to, and we will go over that and that type of example, but I don't usually use the Eastbourne tournament just the week prior Wimbledon to judge my Wimbledon big-time players. Do you?
I definitely do not. No, I actually judge them way before the grass court. But
yeah,
it's good to see how they do.
Yeah, it's good to see how they're doing and warming up, but there's so much at stake for Wimbledon, the granddaddy of them all, in my opinion. A lot of the players are just getting the lay of the land, I think. So I'm more...
You said it's a granddaddy for you, Wimbledon?
Wimbledon's the granddaddy for me.
Then why so many players don't warm up in tournaments? Why don't they play? I mean, there's a lot of players who haven't even been on the grass court yet. You sure it's the granddaddy of all?
It's the granddaddy of all for me. You may have to speak up because of the wind.
Yeah, I don't know about that. I mean, I guess a lot of players don't think like you.
Look, Wimbledon is the granddaddy of all the majors. I mean,
I have to disagree.
So you're telling... I would rather personally have 8 Wimbledons than 11 French Opens.
Yeah, that's different. To me, the U.S. Open is it. You win a U.S. Open, it's the most popular sport, the most popular Grand Slam of all, in my opinion.
Totally disagree. Totally disagree.
Then why do we have a lot of players that don't even practice on grass court?
So the wind, if we get these howls, a lot of times when we do these videos, sometimes if they're early in the video, we have to restart it because of the wind blowing in our face. So, pardon if you just heard a gust of wind. It's hot, so we welcome the wind, right?
Definitely.
But again, back to the argument at hand. The U.S. Open pales in comparison to the importance of Wimbledon.
I get it. Wimbledon is super important. But my question is, since I was a kid, there were so many players that never practiced on grass. They would just show up to Wimbledon, and they still do it now. Why?
And that's a good question. I guess everywhere doesn't have plush green courts to play on.
But it seems like a lot of these players don't even want to enter these tournaments.
Okay, I'm going to ask you a question. If you, as a tennis player, which she is a good tennis player, if you could choose between winning the Australian Open or Wimbledon, where would you choose?
Oh, definitely Wimbledon.
Okay, that's one.
Yes,
that's
definitely.
question number 1. If you could choose to go down in history to having won the French Open or Wimbledon,
Wimbledon, hands down.
Okay, so we're 2-0 right now, 2-0. All right. If you could go down in history of winning Wimbledon and the U.S. Open, which one would it be?
The U.S. Open.
Okay, whoa.
And here's why.
I understand that. Then you can give me your feedback, but that's 2-1.
Yeah, but the Australian...
Majority win.
I'm sorry,
Wimbledon.
but the Australian... to me, as a when I started playing tennis at 10, To me, I always saw as U.S. Open the most important, followed by Wimbledon, followed by the French, and then the Australian. Australian didn't become popular until Federer and Nadal started winning it, because no one even bothered playing it or watching it. And the French became famous. Why? Because of Nadal.
Wait a
And
minute.
Monica
No.
Seles. And Monica Seles. Let's be real.
Nah.
The French Open in the 90s, Sergei Bruguera,
Okay,
who
no,
really
wait
watched
a
his
minute.
finals.
What about Gustavo Curtin?
Okay, it started becoming popular.
What about-
Martina Hingis? No, she never won one.
What about Coria when he ran through it?
Coria?
Well, who was the guy that played Coria? Guido Coria?
No, that wasn't even popular. Courier won it like three
Like
times.
3 times, right?
But it still wasn't popular. I'm sorry. U.S. Open won, and I'm sure people will agree with me. Why? Because it's hot. It's a tough surface on the knees. You have to grind it. Wimbledon is number 2.
All right, so that'll be a question that we'll tally votes on. What is more important? Wimbledon, if you could just win one major in your entire life and you were a tennis player, is Wimbledon the tournament that you would rather win, or is the U.S. Open the tournament that you would rather win?
I tell you something. Whoever wins the U.S. Open, a lot of people would know in the news. You win Wimbledon, some people will know.
All right, so we're going to move forward because we'll debate this
Sorry.
until the sun comes up or goes down and then comes back up again. Once again, we had no women's coverage whatsoever today. I jotted down notes when we were actually looking for it, pardon the wind again. But one outlet that we had, and I'm talking like television outlets, not that we watch any television, we don't have time for it, but stringing rackets or taking care of the 5 kids, whatever it is, we tend to keep the tennis channel on in the background, and no disrespect there either. And we have a couple others that are on our satellite type package. On one of the outlets, I had an old movie irrelevant to sports in general. I had a Djokovic-Federer match from 2014. I think I saw it 8 times yesterday and like 37 times within the past 5 years or so, 4 years. And on another outlet, where is it?
Well, they had it on Tennis Plus, but we don't have Tennis
Oh,
Plus.
but no.
They had only a few matches.
Yeah, well, yes, there was no coverage less live unless it was on a Plus channel. That was additional money out of the pocket. So I pay already to try to get it, but then I have to pay more to make sure it's live. But then when it's live, I haven't seen women's tennis. No women's tennis in 2 weeks, and I've got documents.
Here's the sad thing, Justin.
No women's tennis in 2 weeks. But, however, if I want live tennis, period, I have to watch another week of insignificant men's tennis when at the same time there is 64 women that are playing pretty high-stake matches currently in Eastbourne. So I got to pay more to watch matches that count. So why am I don't get it.
The sad thing is that the Wimbledon qualifying rounds are going, right? So if the Tennis Channel does not have the rights to this tournament at Eastbourne, why not show the qualifying rounds at Wimbledon? The matches that are important. We have a few veterans that are playing in the qualifying rounds.
Yeah, so I totally agree. I mean, right now, if I paid more money, I could watch a men's 250 where half of them aren't there. They played last week and are resting, i.e. Cilic, Djokovic, and everyone else with the exception. I think Murray's playing this one, I think. Anyway, I have to pay more to watch that or no women still. I mean, we have to remember, and I'm not so pro women all the time, don't get me wrong, but after following and doing 20 shows we've done, and how much live women's coverage have we gotten? Zero.
But this is what I go back to, Justin.
Not cool.
You're saying Wimbledon is an important tournament. Well, there is no coverage of grass courts. When you're playing the pre-warm-up tournaments for the U.S. Open, there is coverage of almost every hard court. That's what I'm telling you.
Yeah, so anyway, I got to pay more money just to watch something that I would rather just read about it and establish my own, I guess you could say, thought process behind the scores that I am given. So anyway, we're gonna move forward, but still no sign of any women's coverage. The wind has picked up, so if potentially it sounds like shouting, don't mean to be, but the wind's pretty steady coming from my south to north. All right, moving forward. I had the list of things that I had a choice to watch on my sport outlets. Another was a radio talk show on TV, A pretty good radio show, but I can listen to that on the radio. And our last outlet, and I mentioned it was an old movie. So very unfortunate that unless one pays a lot more than what they already pay to get tennis in order to get it live, and then it's still insignificant, and then it's still not women's when we have to have women's tennis too. They're very good. Right?
Yeah, I agree with you. I mean, we're going to keep going back and forth with this. Why do people pay for Tennis Channel?
I mean, I don't know at this point.
Okay.
All right. So, in the last bit of kind of common conversation or drama, at least that we try to bring up, sometimes drama's fun, I guess you could say. You can't take the women's prize money away if you don't give them any coverage. I mean, if you're telling me that you're going to take their prize money because they sell no tickets, okay, I get it. However, can you at least give them the same amount of just loaded coverage with sponsors and rackets and everything else? Can anyone tell me a hot shot tennis commercial where you've seen a female a female tennis player wielding this brand new Battle Out racket or Wilson racket, respectively? I hit with both. But can anyone tell me, do they even advertise Serena with her Blade 104?
I've seen it like maybe a few years ago. And see, they can't take away their prize money. And this is where Nadal should shut up and not say anything about that. Djokovic should shut up because they don't give him coverage. See, this is where Federer is smarter than them. He stays quiet about that subject. He doesn't say anything. He doesn't go against it or for it. Federer.
Oh yeah, but Nadal brought up some modeling.
Nadal shouldn't have brought up anything because these women are not getting coverage. So how are they supposed to, get more audience? I mean, we don't even get to see them. We don't know them.
Yeah, I mean, I can turn on a bowling tournament and all of a sudden the Babolat Aero Pro Drive commercial will come up. So when my daughter wants a new tennis racket, believe me, I think she can play with a broomstick or a woody. I'm not going there. But in terms of business, if we're talking business, and the other 48% or 52% of women in the world, sometimes they don't want to have this, what one may think cognitively as a male racket. They want to have the best female racket. And look, I don't care. I'll give my kids an old Ultra 2, an original Pro Staff, a Jack Kramer autograph, whatever, and be fine with it. But some parents and people that will go out and spend money on your stuff, don't judge or take the women's money away when you can't even find information on them, much less see a commercial that involves someone like Serena or anybody wielding their racket of choice.
Yeah, the only thing I've seen on the Tennis Channel is Sloane Stephens on a chocolate milk commercial.
Yeah, I saw that.
Or milk. How is that even relevant to tennis?
Yeah, it's really not.
Or you can go to Sports Illustrated and see Wozniacki, Sloane Stephens, Serena.
Yeah, the latest
you can
swimsuit
see them in
issue.
a thong.
Yeah, you can do that.
I mean, that's great for tennis.
But I mean, let's be real. If we want to see a girl in a thong, I mean, are we gonna go to Sports Illustrated?
No.
Really?
No.
I mean, let's be real. Where are we gonna go? I mean,
I don't know. Come on.
I mean, all right. We'll keep it elementary. Anyway, moving forward, personal training notes from today. This morning, Carl and I went out and played. I still haven't been able to serve very well at all. I have to kind of toss from here because of a little nagging muscle pull on the side. But I thought today Carla played like just absolute awfulness. Yeah, I mean, she couldn't hit a ball on the court. She couldn't hit the backhand of the court. Her volleys were subpar. Her footwork was off. No, I'm kidding. Her footwork was there, but you just played really bad today. Well, what happened?
I don't know. I felt like I hadn't played tennis in years. I just didn't want to be up there, honestly. I felt better in the afternoon when we went out with the kids.
Yeah, so we took the kids out later. By the way, if we would have played today, even if I had to serve underhand, which I did the second time we went out today, I served underhanded. I think I would have destroyed you today. I'm just telling you that. I think it would have been an easy 6-2 win for me. We play a set. I think you go down 6-2 today.
I wouldn't have let it happen. If I had to push the ball or slice or whatever, I would have done it.
Totally disagree.
Okay.
6-2 for me today. She couldn't keep a shot on the court. Her footwork was slow. It was too hot for her to handle.
It was not hot.
It was hot.
It had nothing to do with that. Sometimes you have an off day. I mean, there's a lot of top players that can lose to anybody in the world. It happens.
Oh, I totally disagree with that. I would have plowed right through her game. I think she was really slow to recover.
Well, if you need for me to have a crappy day, then and you feel good about that, beating me like that, then more power to you.
6'2". And look, 6'2", she knows it. She knows it. I'm going to give her the benefit of the doubt and maybe give her a 6'4". But today, even though, again, it could have served underhand and destroyed you today. Because it was just one of those good days. It was show 20. I was excited about the play on the court today. Our kids update, by the way, I wrote that down too. Jonathan, my oldest one, played okay, right?
Yeah, he did well.
Served well, volleyed well, served and volleyed well. New tactic we're working on with him. Christopher, our 13-year-old, Jonathan, 16. Christopher, our 13-year-old, give him a thumbs down. Played awful.
Awful, yeah. I think it was too hot for him, and he needs to learn how to hit with some more power.
Yeah, we're trying to work on his chocolate milk. Thanks to Sloan Stevens, we're trying to work on his chocolate milk intake. Come on, Sloan, we need a chocolate milk subscription. No, I wish Sloan a lot of luck in Wimbledon. We like Sloan a lot.
Yeah.
Good luck, Sloan. All right, Gabriella, our 5-year-old, and it was like 115 heat index on the court today. I give Gabriella thumbs down.
Well, she's 5, so come on.
So we're going to move right into our 9-year-old, Liliana. I give her kind of an even, Steven.
No, she did great today. It was really hot. She was hitting the ball, ripping the ball. Her backhand has improved. Her footwork improved. Her volleys are really nice for a 9-year-old.
But she was still holding that Eastern grip volleying.
Well, I mean, come on. I was hitting hard at her. I was really going for her.
And how's her serving doing?
We didn't get to serves today.
Yeah. So I train the 2 boys. She does the 2 girls. The boys are older, but right now if my boys played her girls, destruction.
Oh, yeah. 16-13. Come on.
Destroyed. That's how we roll. Competitions, no matter what. I cook better than her.
No, he doesn't.
Oh, yeah, I do.
No, he doesn't.
Oh,
But
I
let's
do.
move to the next subject. It's not about us.
All right. Anyway. Rafael Nadal is playing an exhibition match next week. To me, irrelevant. To me, that's about ticket sales, putting on a microphone while you're hitting tennis balls and having fun with the crowd. Great. It's great. It's great for ticket sales. It's great for marketing. It's great for the whole deal. It's great for the kids to go watch it. But I've been to maybe 25 exhibition matches in my lifetime. Personally, up close and center, like Roddick playing with McEnroe or Federer playing with Nadal. I mean, they get microphones on and they're playing jokes and great shot, and they purposely make it 3 sets, usually seemingly, or 2 tight ones. I watched Agassi and Roddick do that. I watched one in Mobile, Alabama. I think it was Roddick and Agassi. I may be wrong. I watched one with Marty Fish and with Roddick and the Bryan brothers in Mobile, I think around 2004. I mean, it was fun, but do I really care?
Honestly, I think it's dumb that Nadal's even playing an exhibition match. Or Sharapova.
Sharapova's playing one too, yes.
Pui that he's playing. Nadal's playing Pui.
Yes.
And then you got the Korean. What's his name?
Chung.
I wouldn't do that. I mean, that takes away. If they really wanted to get some warm up on grass, I would have played this last tournament. I think it's really dumb.
Yeah.
Really dumb, in my opinion, to even have an exhibition match right before Wimbledon.
Hey, maybe we can watch that.
Might affect them.
Maybe we can watch that on the tennis channel instead of watching matches that matter in Eastbourne. And maybe we can be more bored watching that.
See, and here they are trying to make money. Jeez, well, let's make. If you're gonna do that, do it maybe when there's not a Grand Slam around, where you can make money and contribute to the youth tennis. I just think it's a waste of time. I wouldn't even watch it.
Yeah, waste of my time too. Local ticket sales, the snack bars, and the food stands, and beer sales, and I get all that, but irrelevant to me. I probably won't even. We're not even going to cover that because
No.
it's irrelevant.
I was surprised that they even did that. I was really shocked that those top players would do that.
Yeah, I'm not going to cover definitely not going to cover the exhibition matches. This is about pre-Wimbledon. Who's going to win? Who's going to take it? Who's going to fight? I'm not saying neither of those players are fighting. I'm just saying it's irrelevant towards who we're projecting. All right. So, again, you just mentioned Sharapova. Again, is playing an exhibition along with Nadal in the same type of setting, different rodeo, but same deal. We're not going to cover those matches. Notable qualification wins and losses today. Donald Young lost. Hey, no disrespect to Donald, but, bro, it's time for you to move on. And I'm sure you love playing the game. I love playing the game, but at this point, it's like me trying to play Wimbledon. It's just not going to happen. Stay fit, pass it on to the kids, whatever. Again, no disrespect, followed you for years, man, like years. And I think at this point, don't put all your eggs in a basket that you're going to make a third day at Wimbledon. I would just pass it on at this point.
Well, I mean, he lost today, and I know we read the rules, or I don't know if anybody watching knows what the rules are for the qualifying. You said that you have to win as many matches as you can in order to qualify.
Yeah,
I said if you
3.
lose, you have to win all 3 of your matches. So if anybody out there knows what the actual rules are, he read them, but I really think you have to win all your matches.
Yeah, what we're getting at is I know last week Bouchard had a chance, or the week before had a chance to still get into a main draw of a smaller tournament, and she had lost a qualifying match. So we were trying to get familiar with, if you lose one qualifying match at the Wimbledon qualifications or the qualies, can you still get into the main draw? So what the consensus is from what we read, no, you cannot, unless the amount of players that are needed haven't won all 3 of their own matches. I know it's a tongue twister, but it looks like that Donald Young lost today and will potentially not make the main draw of Wimbledon, but I think they can have help and get there still.
Okay, which that makes sense, but there's a lot of people that lost them.
So
are not going to make it that you were planning on picking for the women's side.
Yeah, so again, if you're having a hard time hearing us, apologies. Really excited about this video, and the wind's steady at this point. Bernard Tomic won. Watch out for him. He's been through a lot. He kind of reminds me of a Kyrgios.
Who matured.
A long time ago that
Yeah.
matured. So we all think we look at Kyrgios, and it's like some new kid on the block. That's the bad boy. Believe me, there's been the Safins, and there's been the Rioses, and there's been the Tomics.
He's Australian, too.
And he's Australian. They're both
Yeah.
Australian. I didn't think about that.
Yeah.
But I think Tomic is growing up a little bit. And you know what? I've watched Tomic for 2 weeks. I could remove Kachanov from my fantasy team and put Tomic in, depending on the draw.
I won't be doing that, but I think bravo for Tomic.
Good job, Tomic. Gulbis. We've heard about Gulbis. We followed Gulbis for maybe, 12 years?
The ugliest
10
forehand in the
years.
tour. The ugliest forehand.
But if Gulbis gets on and gets cracking, crack-a-lacking, like plays the best he can ever play, he might win a round or 2.
Oh, he can.
Watch out for Gulbis. Women's qualifications. Lizicki lost. Oh, potential fantasy team member for me lost in the qualies. Oh, that takes Lizicki off of my team.
That completely. If she could lose a qualifying round, there is no chance for main draw for her.
Bouchard wins today. Remember, Bouchard has made it to a Wimbledon final. She has been basically tossed into the sea and left for forgotten. Can she find her way?
I don't know. I mean, I read an article about her. The person giving her the interview after she won her match said she didn't seem like she was even excited that she won her first qualifying round. So I don't know.
Well, maybe being a beach model is what she wants to do. But Bouchard, if you have any inclination of playing tennis and being great, you've been great before, and I still have faith in you. Let's go. Let's go. Come on, Bouchard, pulling for you. Veteran Zvonareva wins today at 33 years old in the qualies. That doesn't have any relevance for me in Wimbledon. I'm going to pick up the pace because we're getting long.
I like her. I liked her back in the late 90s, early 2000s. I think she could do damage.
So, Zvonareva, we have a potential, came out of the woods to jump back into the limelight. It's grass season. Vera's been around a very long time.
She was top 5 once.
Can Bouchard gain form? Can Zvonareva make noise?
We'll see.
We'll see. So today, Women's Eastbourne, we had Barty that beat TM's girlfriend, Mladenovic. No big deal to me. Barty's still a good unseeded choice for your fantasy team for Wimbledon, but I still haven't bought the cake on that one.
Not me either, no.
Kerber took out Sibylkova. Kerber is potentially going to be on my team as one of the top 5.
Same here.
Sibylkova, she's the short girl, right?
Yes, the very short girl.
Little short girl. Hey, she's a beautiful girl. You play tennis well. She's a tiger and a fighter. But I do not have Sibylkova, no matter what, making noise in Wimbledon.
I don't either, no.
Konta took out Krunic today. We've talked about Krunic numerous times, this girl, the past 2 weeks. Konta took her out easily. Good news for England, right?
Definitely. I mean, Konta is definitely, she might be one that I put in my fantasy group.
Take Konta. Risky.
Risky, yeah, because sometimes she's not quite there. I don't know. She kind of, her mental tennis is not that strong. But we'll see. Maybe the English crowd can
home field advantage.
can push her to get there. I mean, she was at a semis last year.
Yeah, I think I'll pull for Cant a lot. I'm not going to put her on my potential team as one of my top 5 winning the tournament, but she's not far off.
She's not, and I like it. Depending how the draw comes out, I'll decide whether I pick her or not.
All right, so Redzwanska, again, we talked about her jumping back onto the grass just yesterday, winning easily. She took out Gavrilova, who played a final last week in 3 sets. Gavrilova has probably expunged a lot of energy the last tournament, making the final, and I think lost in the final, and then going 3 sets for Redzwanska. No surprise to me, Redzwanska to me is the better player and should have won. I hope Gavrilova didn't put out too much energy with going through a final last week and then having 3 sets.
What finals did she play?
Didn't she play a final last week?
I don't remember her name at all.
Didn't Rybakova play what's the 2 tournaments last week? She went deep in the tournament.
I don't remember her name whatsoever.
Look, I got all my notes here. But I mean, from the parade, she just played in a tournament and he made like a semifinal.
I mean, I know Kvitova beat somebody, and then
Kvitova beat Rybakova.
yes, but this name is different. This is not. I didn't see this name at all in finals.
Look, I'm not gonna look it up. I got it, but I think
he's wrong.
Yeah.
Here, while you're talking, I'll look.
Okay, look, this like show 18 or 19. This is 20, so it should be 19.
Okay.
I think Rybakova made a final, and I might have that wrong for another OVA, like Gavrilova or whatever, but I'm pretty certain. So we're going to move forward to Kazatkina defeats the Van Uytvanck young lady that we've seen a couple of times. She likes Kazatkina a lot, Russian player.
I do, and I'm going to pick her.
And they play a similar game, so it's kind of cool. And I like Kazatkina too, so we'll follow that. Strykova once again is in the news. This girl Strykova, I think, has made my team for Wimbledon no matter what. She's won again today. Kvitova won today.
I expected her to win, and no, her name is not in it. It was Maria. You had Kenin. You did not have that name in there.
All right. Well, anyway, my flaw. I still think that we saw Rybakova.
She was in a final. Yes.
That's who we're talking about.
Oh, I thought you were talking about Rwanska. That's not the same
name.
name.
Oh, Gavrilova.
Yes.
She corrected me. You were right. See, the OVA names sometimes throw me off. I was thinking Rybakova, and I read that off, but I have written here Gavrilova. So let's negate that. Redzwanska, I think, should have sailed through that match a little bit stronger than that. But
does anybody care, really? I mean, Rwanska is not an aggressive player. Sorry.
Ostapenko beats Kanepi today. Ostapenko won a French. She's a little fighter, little tiger. I think rather inconsistent. And beat a strong Kanepi. And I mean strong, she's a strong woman. But I think Ostapenko won, what was it, routine? I think
it was like 7-5, 6-4, something around there.
So close match. Kanepi still could be an unseeded player for me. You're a player that you like, Collins, the Virginia Cavalier college player that has been doing well and fights hard. Beat Carla
Suarez Navarro. And I like Collins a lot. She's feisty. And actually, I'm going to look at, when the draws come out, I'm going to look for her and see how, where she ends up. I might pick her. I used to live in Virginia, and I know that their team is very tough, and she was an NCAA champion twice.
All right, so Kuznetsova lost today easily, no big deal. She's a potential unseeded. The girl Rybakova that I just mentioned, I had her name here, lo and behold. She retired today in her match, so she was probably tired from the final that she made.
Yes, that makes sense. She retired after losing the first set 6-1.
All right, so we're going to wind down. We're pushing 30 minutes, and I don't like to go this long. Everybody has stuff to do, and our kids are inside, and we need to get to them. So, again, thanks for watching so much. Quick men's review. Misha Zverev won today. Again, I have him as being a potential noisemaker at Wimbledon, but not really. Steve Johnson the U.S. Steve Johnson defeated the young kid Medvedev today. Daniil Medvedev, I think his name is. The British.
Good for him.
Awesome job, Steve Johnson. We're pulling for you. We love you, man. Keep up the good work. You inspire me. Seriously.
Awesome.
Good job. British guy Nori wins again. We mentioned him last week a little bit. It's nice to see Turkish players. Nice to see British players popping up. I was looking at Turkey here. Tournament, which is ongoing. We had Verdasco that lost there, no big deal to me. Yuzny lost there, no big deal to me. Sugita won, no big deal to me. However, Sugita the Japanese guy, he could very well be someone that I pick as unseeded. I think I'm still going with Kachanov.
Same here, yeah. But anybody else is doing a bracket, good to think about, you know?
All right, so in closing, super high speed again. After about 35 minutes, my phone is done. So sorry to rush it at the end. We've been talking about fantasy teams. My top 8 for the men's as of right now is Djokovic, Nadal, Cilic, Federer. I'm going to throw in Dimitrov for Vivek there, Koric, Kachanov, and then my last player I might throw in Monfils. Women, Serena, Venus, Kvitova. I'm going to throw in Strykova now. The rest of my list is open with thinking about maybe Bouchard unseated, maybe Sloane Stevens, maybe Halep, maybe Sharapova. Hers rolling quick.
Federer, Nadal, Thiem, Query, Djokovic. By the way, he calls him Dork. Delpo, Edmund, and Kachanov. And then women's, Muguruza, Kvitova, Serena, Kasatkina, Kerber, Sharapova. And I'm not sure about mine seated yet. But Collins. Actually, Collins might be one. And
so, at the end of the day, thank you everybody for watching. It looks like I'm about 32 minutes in, and unfortunately, my battery goes dead at that point. So, hey, we try to get better every time. We've gotten a lot of good positive feedback, so we're excited to do it. We'll see you tomorrow. Click a like below, subscribe below. Thanks so much for watching. And go Collins, go Steve Johnson. And I'm really hoping for you. But I personally, as much as I hate to say it, I see no shot for Wimbledon. And again, I'm choosing Djokovic to win it and Kvitova. And you are choosing Nadal and...
I have Kvitova as well.
All right. So there you have it. Thank you so much, Carla. Appreciate the time.
Thank you.
Muy bonita. Okay. Appreciate you watching, and we'll see you tomorrow. Take care.
Bye-bye.